All right, it's Thursday, September 5th. Buying some SPY 558 puts here at 790. This is on the overall breakdown on the day. I actually should have probably bought it when it hit the midpoint, as it was coming red and hit the midpoint of this first bar, expecting that to be taken out. A little late on it, but what I like here is on the daily chart. Obviously, we've been discussing the last few days. I have a downward bias into this gap, so I still think there's a lot of room to go. We've had 2 days of inside price action that's failing to go higher, so I expect these lows of the first day of the week to be taken out and head lower. So I'm comfortable, even though it's at a pause area here at the lows of the day, that it'll probably hold in here and eventually work towards the pre-market lows. And like I said, the lows here on Tuesday, take out these areas and then start working into this gap down here. So I'm comfortable just kind of watching it here patiently in this pause area, first pause area. I think this should be the high of the day up here, and we'll be heading lower. I was anticipating lower ever since Tuesday. We've had a little bit of pause, but nothing substantial on the upside. That shows me this range in here, which broke to the downside, is not really reversing to head back to the highs. If anything, we're moving down to some of the higher time frame broadening areas down here. So buying the puts now, days turning red. We still have, we want to see this inside price action kind of break to the downside. But that's what the context is showing. If we look at the weekly 2 down, that still has room to run. And obviously the monthly chart, which just started this month, is starting, well, let me get it here, is starting red as well, into this buying tail possibly. So we have all the continuity of the downside month, week. The daily bar is turning red, and even though intraday structure is pausing here, you still might get a good, if you didn't take an aggressive sell, then if it pulls back into here and eventually moves lower, kind of like yesterday up in this area right here, it kind of came down, pause, gave you a shooter bar. There could be a good secondary sell, so look for that. But either way, I think we're heading lower, so I'm comfortable just letting it kind of chop around in here as eventually I think moves to some of these bigger picture targets below.